Morning, guys. It's deadline day. It's the final day of the window. I've just woken up, hair's all over the place. And yeah, let's just delve right into the breaking news, because there is some breaking news. 1 day left in the window, and there's two players that Arsenal are linked with in the forward positions, and they're both Kingsley Coman from Bayern Munich and Raheem Sterling from Chelsea. Those are the two names that have been linked with Arsenal in less than 24 hours left in the window. And what do I make of that, first of all? Now, let's look at it. I believe that we wanted our main targets. I think our main target was Sesko. I think Isak would have been a main target, and probably knew in the end we weren't going to get anywhere there. And also Nico Williams. I think Nico Williams is the main target, and I think everyone else, well, Arteta might have had a few others, but it seems they haven't been able to get their number one targets. So now I think Arteta is in a bit of a panic, and it's all about just bringing someone in, because he's got rid of all the others like Nelson, Smith-Rowe, Nketiah, all the deadwood. Fabio Vieira's on loan. They've all gone. So now there's a gap in the squad, and Arteta's brought no one in to fill that. So now it's obviously going to be a bit of a panic, isn't it? We've got to be careful, I feel, because if you look at it, we've got a very, very good starting 11. Like, if you look at the best starting 11 when it's fit, if we look at the forwards, so Havertz, Trossard, Saka, that's our three. So anyone that comes in, like a Nico Williams potentially, are coming into a team with already a settled front three. So I need to look at it. And if, first of all, Raheem Sterling, he's had a very difficult time at Chelsea. But I look at it, if Sterling's your backup winger, it's not too bad when you think about it. I actually think Raheem Sterling is a fantastic backup to have at your team. If Sterling is coming in to replace Trossard or replace Havertz to the bench and come in and play every week, that worries me, because I do not think Sterling is the same player. But if he's coming in just to provide a bit of cover, I actually see a lot of positives in this. I really do. I still think he has a lot to offer off the bench, but he would have to accept the fact that he is going to be a bit part player. But I think with all the madness that's going on with him at Chelsea, I actually think that he'll just be grateful to get out, regardless of whether he's going to play week in, week out. I think he'll just accept the fact. I think he'll just be happy just to be at a different club and have a bit part role. Because right now at Chelsea, he's completely excluded from the plans. And I was quite critical of Sterling in a video about, obviously, when his representatives came out and they said that they're disappointed, basically, with the fact he's not been included. Because he hasn't been good enough at Chelsea. Chelsea didn't bring him in to sit on the bench. Chelsea signed him to start week in, week out. And he hasn't been good enough to do that. But if he came to Arsenal and he became our backup winger, I do think that's a brilliant signing. Because it's very difficult to find someone who's just going to be happy to play second fiddle to Trossard, or even Martinelli. Martinelli might be ahead of him in the pecking order. So first and foremost, that I actually think Sterling wouldn't be the worst shout. And then there's Kingsley Coman from Bayern Munich, and I think basically exactly the same as Sterling. If he's willing to sit on the bench and be a bit part player, I'm all for it. I think Kingsley Coman is a good enough player to come in here and there. I think if Sterling or Kingsley Coman become your Nelson, or become your Nketiah, or become your Smith-Rowe, I think it's brilliant, because I think those two players are better than all the players that I've mentioned. Sterling and Coman are better than Smith-Rowe, Nelson, Nketiah, Fabio Vieira. They're better. So we are actually improving the squad when you think about it. We're not improving it in the long term because they're 28, 29. But for this season, and maybe a couple more seasons, I think until Arteta can get his main targets, I don't think it's a bad idea. I think it's quite a smart idea. But the big question is, are we going to be getting just one of these, or does Arteta want to sign both of them? Now, I don't think we need both of them. But if Arteta feels he needs the cover and he needs as much strength and depth going forward as possible, and if he thinks Jesus' injuries have just gone too much, too far, then maybe we do need both of them. Maybe, because then you could have them two and Martinelli as your backup forwards, because you obviously can't trust Jesus to stay fit. And that would help Jesus, because it would mean he doesn't need to, play much, and then he doesn't have to pick up many injuries. But those are the two players that are linked, and I'm all for it. Listen, we have to accept it for what it is. We've got a wonderful starting 11. We just have to bring players to the football club who are willing to play second fiddle to Saka, to Trossard, to Havertz. But they also have to be of quality. And like I said, I'm going to end this video by saying those two players are better than the 4 players we've just got rid of. Well, Nelson we haven't got rid of yet, but we're probably looking to. So that's the fact of the matter, So we are strengthening the squad. It's not Nico Williams. It's not Isak. It's not Sesko, Gyökeres. But it's an okay solution, I think, and I think I'm not too against it. So yeah, Sterling and Coman, is that good or is it bad? Let me know, guys.